off this section, then, we're going to have a look at Saturday's Express. Lewis, will we soon be seeing a Frexit?
Well, you know what? We might be headed, but of course not, because France won't exist in about 20 years.
That's optimistic.
Yeah. France tells EU to stay out of riots chaos as Brussels scolds the French police. An EU commissioner stressed that French police tactics against protesters and rioters last week ought to be looked at. And this is shocking because the whole concept of Europe was set up so the French could run it. And now this is the arrogance of the French. Now the Belgians and the one world kumbaya European state is focusing on France.
Well, there's definitely overreaching. I mean, this is what Macron's government is saying. You know, basically the EU shouldn't be making statements about policing, about security, about things that have nothing to do with them. But the EU always put their nose in.
Yes, and it's overreaching.
Yeah, it's overreaching.
Is that we've accused them of overreaching. Everybody's accused them of overreaching. The French have never accused them of overreaching.
No, because they love the EU.
Yeah.
Typically.
Nick, they are the EU.
Well, it's typical of the EU to be not worried about the collapse of French society, but that the police are being a bit mean to the rioters. And this is why I'm so glad we've left the EU, Andrew, because when we have our civil war, we'll be able to be as brutal as we like, and that is freedom and sovereignty.
Well, that's exactly what the situation is. We're at a war, and we've got to figure out a name for it that then we can play the game. But it's between the one world kumbaya government, right?
We're talking about the EU as a federalist.
We're talking about globalism versus nationalism.
Globalism versus nationalism, and suddenly this is a nationalistic issue, and they're saying to Belgium, they're saying not to Belgium, to Brussels with it. They're saying to France, to Europe. They're saying to the EU.
No, it's perfectly legitimate to criticise the police and to criticise the way things are being handled.
Well, they're saying they're saying it needs to be looked at how the police are behaving, but they're saying why is that the EU's remit?
No, that was my point. I think it's legitimate to criticise, but if you're an EU official, then that's not your role, right? So I think it's perfectly okay for us to do it, for instance, but I don't think the EU should be...
Yeah, of course you can criticise anything, but when in theory what they're saying is that there's an overlord on top of France who could come in at any minute and say, you know what, France doesn't exist as a country, we're taking over because you're being mean to the...
Well, I don't think anyone's suggesting that the EU is going to take over, but anyway...